Good morning. Good morning. Jab of Delight will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing today? My name is Gavin Kerr. I am here with the most wonderful, the most bald, the most handsome, the most bearded Brandon Croucher.
I have never been called the most bald. Oh, that was great. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Most bald. I have never been called that, but I love it so much. Gavin Kerr, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to one of the sexiest men alive over here. Gavin Kerr, soon to be on the cover of GQ magazine, Gentleman's Quarterly. Gavin's got the smile of $1 million. It's like the CBD version of Daddy Warbucks. Oh, that's great. Miss Jessica Dugas, I love you. You are such positivity. Guys, Jessica came on yesterday not feeling 100%. She came on. She brought such a great energy. She was so positive. It is an honor to have people in your life that truly see how everybody is going and want to build the team up better. So, guys, Go follow The Breakthrough Show if you're not already. Please know how much we love and appreciate you all, and we are so grateful you all are here. That's all I got on that. Like, for real, it's one of these things where I truly am grateful for her, and I say it all the time, but at the end of the day, it's hearing it out loud is very essential sometimes. So,
absolutely.
Good morning, Gavin. How are you this morning?
I'm pretty good. It wasn't like a struggle to get out of bed this morning. I woke up and I laid there, and then I went back to bed for like an extra 5-10 minutes, not because I just didn't want to get out of bed, but just because I felt nice. And I was like, I'm just going to kind of be in the moment for a little bit longer. So
I like that.
It's been good. How are you?
I am well. I have tonight's going to be a very busy night, but it's going to be so fun. We are literally doing a live show with the H tonight, and I'm going to have on two young friends that are very close to me. They're two young girls that are deaf, and they are 15 and 17. And I'm so excited because they're coming in to talk about the struggles of what it's like to feel deaf and the mental health that they are. And being teenagers, they're literally, oh my God, Jessica, you have no idea how much I agree with you on this one.
Yes.
Like, so much so.
I love that.
Oh, yeah. But tonight's show, 6 o'clock, we're going to have two girls on. Now, here's the thing they don't know. And I get to say this because they're at school right now, for real. These young ladies are already starting to apply for colleges. They're doing their everything they're supposed to. And they're such bright young women already, 15 and 17, that the one has applied to only 2 colleges, and she got into both. One of them is Harvard.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
And she's coming on, and she's going to be teaching us sign language. She's a future doctor. Like, honestly, guys, tonight I am so excited. I have not seen these girls in years. They call me Uncle B. That's my tradition with friends that have kids because I don't have kids. Coming to you live from my bed this morning. Sorry, that made me laugh. But like for real, guys, this episode is going to be so much fun because these two girls are not just inspiring for being young, dynamic women. They are literally setting a precedent for not just women, but for the future and for the deaf culture. So if you've ever wanted to know anything about sign language, from why people would get cochlear implants to why they wouldn't, and it's an insult in the deaf culture, to how to know how to say bullshit in sign language, I don't care. Come on in. Their mom knows who I am. She already knows I'm going to have you guys get taught swear words. They're going to have fun. Do me a favor, share, love, and get out there today. We absolutely what's coming tonight, and I couldn't be happier. Gavin Kerr, what are you up to this evening?
So today, right after the show, I have another episode of Between the Notes with the band Sepsis is the name. They are a newer metal band coming around. They've actually been around since 2010. But they got some popularity. They've been traveling the country and whatnot. I believe they've actually gone worldwide as well. So I'm very excited to talk to them, get some input. They all have something very kind of interesting about them. I checked out their website, and I got to say, whoever put it together did a really great job. But they have a Meet the Band section. It's kind of funny because I'm reading through these, and like the lead singer, one thing that she has to bring to every show is a wolf tail. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna find out. I don't know if she has like a tail that she wears, or if she cut the tail off a wolf like Rottweiler style. Like, I'm not sure what that means. And then the guitarist, one of the guitarists, his like favorite quotes is "Discipline makes a man." So very interesting to talk to him. The other guy is like a welder by day and then a rock star by night. So they all seem to have something really interesting about them. So I'm looking forward. I'm not sure how many of them are going to be on the show. I'm not sure how many people are going to be in the thing. There are like 5 members of the band, so it's going to be a lot of drama. I do too. I really hope the bassist shows up. Things that he really enjoys are he loves playing mind games. I don't know what that means, but I'm very curious to find out. So wish me luck.
I do. Like, bro, that's going to be exciting.
Yes.
Like, that is going to be real exciting. Oh, I got somebody sneaking in. Mom, do you want to poke your head in and say hello?
Hi, Mom.
Yes. How far do I have to poke?
I realize she can't hear me because you have the headset on.
Yep. That's my mom.
So,
she's such a sweetheart. How was your doctor's appointment? Good?
It's just a follow-up.
Good. Gavin wanted to make sure you were okay. I didn't care.
I'm okay.
He's nodding his head yes. Ow.
there are little fingerprints on the top of your forehead.
I have everybody in here right now, guys. So let's start. Mom, you're getting hellos from the audience and all that. Should we do the same thing to Dad? Mom, will you do me a favor? Oh, my God. Welcome to my life. Mom, will you do us one thing really quick? Poke your head in. Give everybody a reason that you're grateful for something this morning.
I am grateful for you.
Bullshit. Now something else.
No, I'm grateful that you're here. I love it.
Thank you, Mom.
I'm grateful for your onesies.
They don't know I'm in one yet. They don't know.
You have a lot of them. So.
I do have a lot of them, so that's true. They don't know which one we're going to be wearing. Oh, not me, Mom. LOL. I love it. Jessica Dugas and all that. I am grateful for you, Mom. We start every episode now with talking about gratefulness.
I love it.
I told everybody about the Grateful Grannies.
Grateful Grannies, yes.
I love her reaction. Wait, here, Mom, poke right here, okay? Now watch her face for a second. This is where it gets fun.
Very strange.
Yeah, I would give you the chair, but I know you're leaving in like a minute. So the reason this all started with the Grateful Grannies, and my mom's wanting to better her life, and she's trying to find better ways of being happy and all this. But what makes it
My friends too.
And her friends too. She's trying to find better friends. If anybody knows any better grannies out there, she's looking for gratitude grannies with her. Okay.
Well, if I can't make them better, then I guess I'll have to start looking.
Yeah. If you can't, don't worry about it. My mom is not right. My mom is not a social media person, so we created her a Facebook page. It's Sharon Sue Shut Up You is her name. That was the name. And then we turned around and created this group, and her friends were called My Bitches. I need this to You don't need help. I don't get to play if I can't help. My mom literally goes, can you please change that? I never get my mom to drop F words, and I got her to be like, it's not fucking funny. And I laughed so hard at that I had to change it. And that's when it got changed to the Grateful Grannies. Mom, I am grateful for you. You really are an inspiration in my life. Last night on the radio, we talked about that. You've done a lot of amazing.
I don't know how, but
I don't know why you're happy I'm here. I'm a pain in the ass, and I'm ADHD, but at the end of the day, without you in my life, I wouldn't become the man I am, and without me in your life, you wouldn't have all the less hair that you have. Everybody's loving it.
Thank you. Did you ever tell anybody about your hat behind you?
Which one?
The
My mom wants me to tell you guys.
Somebody asked you about the marching band. Did you ever?
Oh,
Yeah,
Tokyo
you did go about that. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Hello.
Tokyo Bento did. Yeah, we talked about that.
He's so
We talked
kind.
about Grandpa. Tokyo Bento gave us the stuffed animals. He's the one that mailed those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I said hi.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
I want to be you when I'm a granny, says Jessica Doogie. She says grateful grannies are awesome. Awesome.
Thank you,
Mom, you're getting love. So, all right, Gavin and I are going to dive in. I love you.
Love you.
Mwah. Thank you so much. We have
Bye,
our workout
Gavin.
in a few minutes.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for the coffee.
You're welcome. Come on, guys.
She went to the doctor today for a checkup, and on her way home, she calls my dad and goes, "What coffee do you guys want?" And I'm like, "I'm not allowed Dunkin' Donuts." And Dad was like, "What do you want?" So I got Dunkin' Donuts.
Nice. What do you mean
You
you're
know?
not allowed Dunkin' Donuts?
Joe's going to be on air today. I cannot be seen having Dunkin' Donuts.
No, you're not allowed donuts. You can have Dunkin' Donuts. You can have the coffee. You just can't have. You can have the tea. You just can't have any more donuts. You know why you can't have any more donuts? Because you ate an entire lifetime worth of donuts in Las Vegas.
Well, first off, I wasn't in Vegas. Second off, I was in
Oh,
Los
that's
Angeles.
right. Los Angeles. LA.
Third off, I've eaten at least 2 donuts since I got back. I think I'm an undercover cop inside me. I just like donuts that much. Cops eat donuts.
I think a buddy of mine. I have a theory that a buddy of mine is an undercover cop. Like he just looks like one, and some of his mannerisms.
So I have a business partner who's from Asia, from Taiwan, okay? And deep down inside, I think he's an undercover secret agent. And he's not. He's an engineer. Yeah. I told him this like when him and I were having like drinks one night. And I go, I swear, I think you are like a Chinese secret agent and you're using me to figure out U.S. intelligence. Unfortunately for you, I don't know anything. And his wife loves it. Like, she thinks it's funny. I'm like, I even told him, I go, dude, you literally flew back to Taiwan, got married, and came back and didn't tell me that's why you were flying to Taiwan. That is a very suspicious thing that a secret agent would do. And he's like, I think you're the only one that thinks that, B. And I'm like, no, I'm not. We're going to ask the whole world. We're going to get answers, buddy.
Is his wife from Taiwan?
No.
Oh, well, then that's probably why they got married in Taiwan.
Bye, Gavin. Bye, Brandon.
Hello?
Hello. It's me. Is it me you're looking for? I can see
it in your eyes. I can see it in yours. And I just want you to know. I know there's a lag.
Well, I mean, we're both off as in, like, the words.
Oh, yeah, I don't know the words.
All right, so Gavin, let's go dive into this. Joe's going to be here in about 15 minutes. He's going to be working us out. Tell me, my friend, what are you grateful for this morning? What can people find that would make them grateful?
I'm grateful that I have stuff to do. I'm grateful that I'm a busy person, and that that despite everything going on in the world and personal things in my life, that I'm still able to continue getting things done. And the things that I have to get done, like I got the show today that I got to do. I have this show that I got to do. Then tonight I have another show. I got trivia at Teams tonight, another bar that I'm doing. So I'm grateful that I'm staying active.
Honestly, buddy, I'm grateful you're staying active too.
Yeah.
You've had a lot thrown at you recently, and as a young man, I'm very proud of how you've adapted and grown. So please know, I am grateful for even you being the young man that you are, being the example that you are. So please know how honored I am. I get to work with someone like you and not Joe every day.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Hey, I like Joe. He calls you out on your shit.
Joe's in the background, flipping me off so bad. I love it.
Good, he should be. I like Joe. He calls you out on your shit.
He does. Joe and I pick at each other. Joe and I have a very respectful relationship that most people call hate.
Yeah.
But the truth of it is we respect each other. He's laughing in the background and shaking his head no. I see it.
I call it a blue collar relationship, where like you look at each other and you pick at each other's flaws and stuff, not because you want to tear each other down, but because you want to build each other up. It's a very, very real, very tough relationship to be able to have with somebody.
I agree.
Yeah.
Gavin, you are a living example of what people want to see in growth. So please know you are being seen with what you do. I know what that means. He's saying I'm in the dog collar. Yeah. But you are an example, a shining example of what people, when life hits, you're supposed to be. And it doesn't feel like that at times, but that's why you have people in your life like me, Joe, Brett, Jessica, everybody that watches this show here to tell you how great you are, because we don't see it in ourselves. So
I try not to recognize it too much so I don't get a big head. Bigger than I already have anyway.
See, but you've been pretty humble. Like, I wouldn't call you a big-headed.
I go through little bursts of high ego, or like for whatever reason, for like an entire hour, I'll just think that I'm the shit at everything. Like I'll just be like, oh, I'm at the top, but it's just for that little hour. And then like as soon as the clock strikes 60 minutes, I'm all like, no, stop. What are you doing?
What are you doing? I love it.
Yes.
So let's have some fun for a second, and everybody do me a favor. Wow, sorry, I'm getting messages like on my private chats all over the place. Thank you, Sherry McQueen, for everything you're doing. She's doing everything she can to help us be seen on more networks. For everybody that's out there doing that, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We truly are here to spread positivity, joy, love, and appreciation. Even if you disagree with some of the things that we have conversations on here, please know we truly are opening up the doors for that part of the conversation. We don't believe in keeping hate or anything under the covers or under the rug, as people would say. But the truth is, we are here to find answers and bring positivity to a dark world. I love this comment because it's even funnier than you realize. Are you calling Brandon the Big B? Funny thing is,
am I calling Brandon Big B?
No, Jessica's asking Brett that.
Oh.
And here's the funny thing. That is actually my childhood nickname, Big B. I swear to God, I have a jacket in my closet right now that is like a child's jacket, like a 2-year-old size jacket. And my name was stitched on it by my dad, and it's Big B. Nice. I've always been a big dreamer. I've always been big-headed, big balls. And
AC/DC.
Yeah, you know.
Is that who says that?
I thought so, but I'm not 100% sure. I went with it because I wasn't 100%.
I don't think it is, actually. But they sound an awful lot alike.
We are, but let's have
everybody
do
AC/DC.
Nice. So I am going to throw out my 3 things of gratefulness. You've already given one. I'll give another one. I'd love to see everybody start throwing in things they're grateful for. And Gavin and I talked about this yesterday. And he's like, I have a feeling that's going to get old fast and da-da-da-da-da. Here's the thing. How does getting grateful get old? It makes you stronger. It opens up minds.
Everything is frozen for me.
That was fun. Nope, my connection is unstable. The BJ Cafe is amazing because you have the big B and the big D. I love Jessica. I am grateful for today. I'm going to start with something because you could literally, when you mean it, it comes from anywhere. Gavin and I were talking. When you start saying you're grateful for the pillows, you're grateful for the blanket, you're grateful for the bed you're sleeping on, those with an honest heart, and you start realizing your car, you could be sleeping on the floor, you could be sleeping in the basement of a flooded room. At the end of the day, you have things that are keeping you warm. You have things at that moment that are there for you. It's about you being able to be grateful for that's in the moment. I want you guys to know that for me, I am grateful for the fact the sun is shining today. We get to get vitamin D. I am grateful for the fact that I have a team of people that truly don't only just see where we're headed, it's what the goals are, what we're doing. And I am so grateful that you guys are not only joining us, but sharing this positivity. We know this is not going to be an easy journey. We know there's going to be hiccups along the road, but at the end of the day, we're building a community that's changed. And I couldn't be more grateful that you guys have chose to start with us. Gavin, go ahead, and then I'm going to bring in everybody else's gratefulness.
I'm grateful for strangers on the internet. I think that they are the most, whether you're talking to them or just watching a viral video or seeing somebody's giant rant of a post, I think they are the most entertaining thing in the world. And people watching has never been easier from the comforts of your own home.
That is actually a phenomenal way of saying that. People watching.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm laughing way too hard.
Yeah. I'm thankful for strangers on the internet. They are quite delightful.
I love it. I love it.
And then we're supposed to do 3 things, correct? Yes. The third thing that I'm grateful for, the ability to comprehend and produce music, to be able to understand, not only hear it, but to be able to understand music. Like just automatically, I'm not even talking about just understanding music theory, but the ability to process what is actually going on and be distinct about hearing different noises. And then the ability to ourselves write and compose music. It doesn't have to be good, but just the ability to know how to put notes in an order that you think sounds good. I'm pretty grateful about that. They're very, very, very. I don't think are there any other animals that can do that.
I don't know. I honestly, off the top of my head, I have no idea.
Yeah, that can organize. I know birds sing, but they don't compose.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I'm sassy when I feel like crap. I think that's hilarious. This one is a very touching one. I am grateful to have woken up to live another day in my purpose. I am grateful for the people that support me unconditionally, and I am grateful for a roof over my head. I am grateful for sharing with Brandon, Gavin, Jessica, and, fuck Joe. Today, I am grateful for my daughter, Nina, because she just made me a smoothie so that I can rest. Today, I am grateful for my son, Clay, because he, like Gavin, is really trying to change his life. I absolutely think that's amazing. We send your son, Clay, absolute good vibes. Strangers in the night. Next. Gavin's humor is major. His sharp jokes never land flat.
Well, I appreciate that. When I was little, I always wanted to be funny, and it was to the point where no, seriously, when I was a little kid, I always wanted to be funny, but it was to the point where I wanted it so bad that I was so unfunny. Every damn thing out of my mouth was just a god-awful joke or pun.
Yep, I can 100% get that. I 100% understand that because Yeah, I've tried to be funny my whole life, and apparently I'm not.
Yeah, well, I remember my first joke that was original that people really enjoyed, and it was a complete accident too. It was just like an ADHD thing going on. I was in probably do the wavy thing flashback. Okay, I was in, I want to say the fourth grade, Mr. Taylor's class, and I was sitting with Brandon, and his name was Brandon actually, and Alexis, and we were reading a book about a volcano, and it set a cornfield on fire, and without even thinking, wasn't even trying to be funny, I just go, that'd make a lot of popcorn. And they looked at each other and looked at me and just started giggling, and I thought, oh, I did it! I made it funny!
The fact that you have to tell yourself, I made a funny, killed the joke. You had the joke. Gavin's humor.
I didn't say it. I just thought that. I was just so proud of myself. Yeah.
Joe's in the background, like totally making fun of you and I. I think more
I
me
believe
than
it.
you.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring him in a few minutes early just because he asked me not to. And that's so we can get ready and start working out. Like he said, can you leave me till I have to commit? You see, now he's like, hey, hurry up. Maybe I'm going to wait now. You don't know. You never know.
He's working on stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time Joe is going to be joining us on a Wednesday. He's going to be joining us once a month. Joe and I are working on building his new company for himself. It's a workout, exercise, life program that's about finding your best you through through natural ways. And I love Joe, so do us a favor, welcome him, give him a good Fuck Joe Friday, and let everybody know how wonderful he is. I said it, and I watched his face go. Give Joe a wonderful love and appreciation for him being here. Hi, Joe. Oh, I hit the button. Nothing happened.
Oh, hi, little B. Hi, Gavin. How are we? Can you guys hear me? Because I have the new mic. Okay.
Yeah, you sound good, buddy. Your voice sounds like it's bellowing. There's no echo. You're in a dark room. Joe doesn't live in a house. He got stuck in a basement. His mom actually has a chain attached to him right now on the bottom. Oh, fuck, it's Joe! I love it. Hey, Joe. Hi, all. Mandy Atterbury. Good morning. We're about to work out, Mandy. If you want to go, you have 2 minutes to get changed and then work out with us. Joe is going to work me out. And just for you, Mandy, I have on.
How you doing, Joe? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, buddy.
Okay, cool. I was switching to my my earpiece.
Oh, you're good.
Joe, I am excited to work out with you today, buddy.
No, you're
guys,
not.
No, I am. I have not. Gavin and I talked about this yesterday. Dead seriousness. I can't look like that, obviously, yet. But
well, no, he's 21 and you're 56, so.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of things. We actually do a lot of things here to be different. We have a mental health coach. We have a leadership coach. I've done my dog walking today. Mandy, it's time to get our push-ups in, girl. Girl, you got to be here with me. Come on, represent. This is the Atterbury Hour. I just made that up. But in all
Gavin's actually getting ready, and I just think you're screwed.
No, I'm ready under this. I just had a hoodie on so I can flip this on top. All I have to do is when Gavin starts asking you what you're grateful for is take myself out of the screen, turn my camera, and get ready to work out. Do you want weights? Do I need weights or a yoga mat or anything today?
I mean, yoga mat, if you don't want to slip, that's up to you.
Okay.
You don't need it.
So Joe has been with me for about 2 years now, and he literally is the biggest pain in my ass that I'm grateful for. He works me out. He makes sure if I'm doing bad on my diet, he calls me out on it. When I think he's not listening to a show, he turns around and goes, "What the hell do you mean you ate 13 donuts?" He literally is. I'm going to work out in my mindset. Please do. Mike Herzog.
It's actually my favorite when he yells at you for your diet. I love when he does that. When you say that you ate 10 donuts, he's like, "What the hell's the matter with you?" He's just licking puddles off the ground too.
Brandon, are you ready? Because Gavin looks ready.
Yeah.
Well, no, I am. I got to turn my camera. You're going to give what you're grateful for today. I'm going to take myself out, move myself right here.
Well, I'm grateful for the opportunity to make you hurt.
Oh, me too.
Does that count as one? Or is that like 3?
I'll let that count as 2 because there's 2 of us.
I mean, I'm grateful for everybody I love in my life, and I am grateful that in Cleveland, Ohio, the sun's actually out and it's not going to be cold today.
Well, the sun's out, but it still might be cold. It was yesterday.
Not as cold.
That's true. Fair enough. Yeah.
All right, Brandon, let's go. I'm looking at my fake watch.
I got one too.
See? Very popular.
Yeah.
That's my mom's hoarding.
Well, why don't you just clean that up for your workout?
That would I've been trying.
Oh, that would be a workout.
My mom is the one that I would like to. I can't touch it without her. All right, I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Right, what are we doing?
So warm up, start with 10 push-ups, make it easy.
Cool.
All right, here we go, guys. Everybody at home, you better be doing this with us. I'm looking at you, Mandy Atterbury. 1, 2.
Brandon,
3.
keep your head up. Not
3,
that far up. There you go.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, ready? Mountain climbers for 30 seconds. You guys both know how to do those?
Yeah.
I do.
All right.
For those who do not know,
I'll let you guys know
you're
when to
bringing
start.
your knees up. Like
No,
here.
just regular mountain climber.
Just regular?
Yep, go ahead. 30 seconds. I'll time it.
I've already started.
We'll go faster. You're going slow anyway. No, Brandon, just knees the chest. There you go, buddy. Keep your butt down a little bit. 15 more seconds. Gavin's got better form. I know. Brandon,
Okay.
you're going an extra 5 seconds after I say stop. All right. Gavin, you're good. Brandon has 5 more seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Switch socks.
All right, no, you're good. All right, and then the last part of the warm-up will be 20 jumping jacks.
Sweet.
And then you get a 30-second break. Yeah, we got to work on the camera view on the jumping jacks in the future, guys. There you go, B. Count them out, Brandon. Let's go. Gavin's ahead of you.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. How many am I doing? 21.
You're good. 20. Just take a break. Take a break.
Okay.
We're gonna do a quick 30-second break. I'll time it. Get some water, Brandon, if you need it. Gavin, you as well. Brad.
Bouncing balls. People are people too.
You got about 20 seconds longer on your break.
For that.
Brandon, actually, I'll give you a couple extra seconds to answer comments. Go ahead.
It feels like he does. Hold on.
I'll give you a full minute, B. I'll let Gavin stretch since he's good.
I'm really okay. It's mainly
The onesie.
It's mainly the having the headset on and all that. It's just warm. I can't get any heat out. I'm wearing a Ninja Turtle onesie because I want to be Leonardo right now.
All right, B, you ready?
Yep.
All right, high knees running in place, 30 seconds.
Here we go.
Ready? Go. You don't have to go that fast, B. Go at your own pace.
That was my pace.
All right, well, go ahead then.
I'm trying to step lightly so I don't shake the house and wake up Crystal.
10 more seconds.
My knees don't go any higher.
All right, and stop. All right, immediately do 10 push-ups, and then we'll take a 30-second break.
Or that.
10 more push-ups, B, let's go.
Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, 30-second break, and we're going to do that routine 2 more times.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay. Joe.
Yeah?
I'm tired.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Jessica, I'm going to go do my 1.5-hour workout right after this.
Hey, I did yoga this morning.
No one asked. I'll give you an extra 15 seconds, Brandon.
Brandon, put your hands above your head. It'll open up your windway.
He's right.
I know. It's that warm.
Do you want to skip a set and take off the onesie so you could breathe?
No.
All right. Well, when you're ready, it will start when Brandon starts.
For that.
Now, I don't need a puke bucket yet. All right, what do I do? High knees for 30 seconds?
The same exact thing. We're going to do 2 more full sets. So high knees, 30 seconds, immediately 10 push-ups, then 30. We'll do 45-second break.
For that.
You ready?
All right. So as soon as Brandon starts, Gavin, just go with him. And if you finish early, you get a longer break.
Cool.
Go.
Here we go, Cleveland. Here we go. I couldn't think of anything else.
That wasn't bad.
I can wear a onesie, sweat my booty off, and I'm out here still telling jokes. Come on, people. Join us. The way we change the world is we change ourselves. And if I die on air, make this go viral, please.
Make it go viral. I'll never get any clients again. All right, 10 push-ups. Gavin, if you finish early, you could just rest. All right, Brandon, 45-second break. You
I can
okay?
hear my heartbeat. I haven't worked out in a while.
Well, you're going to hear it even more with the headphones on, to be honest.
Yeah. I haven't worked out in
Take
a
some baby sips of
while.
water.
I'm just taking my breath right this second. That's what I know I need. Yes! Yes! You get it, Jess! I get it now. If I want, I would call my trainer Fuck Lisa. Okay.
You ready,
I'm
B?
ready. I'm ready.
All right, it's going to start as soon as you go. I'll start the 30 seconds as soon as you start, B. Right, Brett? Which means I get to say I made it funny.
All right, Joe, give everybody inspiration while you work me out here. Say when.
Go. It's the last set. Come on. Brandon, you look like you're chasing after someone to steal their stuff. Stop. Come on, Brandon.
Hold on, my pants just fell in the suit.
Well, good. The suit's covering it. Let's go. All right, 10 push-ups.
How about 5?
No, you can give me 10.
Okay. You're the boss, Joe.
Do your best, buddy. Just pace yourself. I mean, unless Gavin wants to do an extra 5 for you, you could ask him nicely.
I'm on 10.
I can, but I'm not going to.
I did my 10.
All right, take a break.
Tell us something, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something. Tell us.
Oh, for your next exercise, no problem. You're gonna do. You're gonna be lying on your back, and you're gonna do flutter kicks.
Nice.
Okay.
Some tummy time.
Yeah, it'll give you a break from the cardio, B.
I needed cardio. I feel this one because I needed it. Guys, I hope you're doing well.
I'm still
I
gonna
hope you're
give you a
enjoying
break.
this. Oh, I'm gonna be okay. If I die on air, like I said, just make it go viral, guys.
And I mean, just make sure you have all your fares in order for the light and everything. You know what I mean?
Gavin gets the
Good
company.
news is, if Brandon dies, you can take my spot and I'll take his, so you'll get promoted.
There we go.
We'll edit that out, obviously, for legal reasons. All right, be you ready? You're just going to do flutter kicks for 30 seconds. We're just going to do 3 sets, nothing crazy. I'll time it for you guys.
Okay.
So you're going to be flat on your back and then just up and down on your legs. Ready? And go ahead. 30 seconds. And just go at your own pace, Brandon. Brandon, you're there? There you go.
You were fading out there, buddy. I was trying to hear what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
You were fading out.
Ten more seconds. Come on, B. And stop. Brandon, you're good, bud. We'll do a 30-second break so you guys could reply to comments and take your water.
30-second naps.
I mean, if you could take a nap in that time, that'd be great.
Yes. So tummy time, that's an actual thing that I used to do in the weightlifting class that I was in. We warmed up with a thing called tummy time, where it was a bunch of core exercises for increasing increments each week.
B, why don't you just leave that halfway on zip, because you're going to be doing abs anyway. You boys ready?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. We need...
Brandon, you can sit out in front if you want. It's okay.
Fuck that. Fuck Joe.
All right, well, you're starting in 10 seconds.
Hey, did you see the question? That's for you, Joe.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll stay a couple minutes after. Brandon, I didn't say start.
There you are, why? Oh, fuck.
All right,
Brandon,
go ahead.
Keep your legs straight.
Go ahead, B. You can stop 5 seconds early.
Can I go yet?
Yep, go ahead.
Wait.
No, you're good. I gave you 5 seconds. You're good. All right,
Joe, why are my
seconds.
legs supposed to be straight?
Keep your legs straight, Brandon.
Slightly bent.
Joe, why are my legs supposed to be... Well, why, though? What's the significance compared to being like a bike
Because it's
ride?
going to target your lower abs, so therefore it's putting strain on your lower abdominal muscles. And stop.
Okay. Fuck it.
Think of it like a lever, Brandon. So if I have a pivot point and I have a lever that's out here, it's going to be a lot different of a weight on the end here if I bring it way out here. Does that make sense?
So, Jessica, to answer your question is the warm-ups to get their cardiovascular and their heart rate up for safety, even though Brandon's making it look like I don't care about his safety. And push-ups are just going to work biceps, a little bit of core and chest. And, for body weight exercises on the show, we're just keeping it simple and just trying to get their heart rate up, heart rate down. Nothing too crazy. And then flutter kicks are going to work your lower 2 ab muscles and core.
I have that onesie.
All right, B, you ready for your last set of abs?
Yep. Ready? Set, lay down, Brandon.
All right, and go ahead. Just keep breathing.
In through the nose, out through the mouth.
Just breathe, Brandon. Little breaths. 8 seconds. 8 seconds. And stop.
I can't feel my butt.
How do you not feel your butt?
I don't know.
What was working your butt?
I don't know. Something passed it out. I hope I don't have to go to the bathroom soon.
Jessica's making me laugh. The guests will have to interview themselves after they pass out.
I feel like that, Jess. I can hear my heartbeat still.
Well, good, because we're going to do more abs. All right, so the next one's going to be real simple. We're just going to do 3 sets of low planks for 30 seconds. Nice and easy. Bring your heart rate back down.
Awesome.
Brandon, you know how to do the low planks on your forearms, right, buddy? You guys get some water? Be you good?
Yep.
All right, and 30 seconds starts now. Brandon, legs straighten together like a push-up. There you go. Straighten your back. There you go. And then just breathe as needed. And this is going to work the inner core and mainly the core, not so much cosmetic ab muscles. Almost done.
I love body workouts because it doesn't matter what your body type is. You'll always get a proficient workout from it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's actually how Bruce Lee did almost all of his workouts. He said really you could lift weights until you could do every body exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Weights should only be after the body workouts become too easy.
Oh, I mean, they don't ever become easier. You just become more efficient and can do more.
That's what I meant, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
All right, B, you ready for a second set?
Do I have a choice?
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a break, I'd prefer you take one.
So no. Okay.
Well, that is a choice. All right, go ahead, start. Brandon, if it makes you feel any better, I'm going to do this for an hour and a half after this.
I love it.
No, it doesn't.
Come on, B, get those legs up. You can do it. You only got 10 more seconds. You're good at the planks, too. Come on.
Just pretend you're procrastinating a push-up.
And you boys can stop. We'll do a 1-minute break on this one.
Heard that.
My heart's talking to me.
All right, well, we'll let you have
what's
that
she saying?
secret conversation. And me and Gavin will entertain the guests.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just happy I'm making Gavin sweat because he's already in pretty decent shape. So.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling it. I love it. It's good. My heart rate has settled down. And I got control of my breathing after probably the first couple exercises we did. But I'm definitely feeling it. This is the first time I've worked out in probably 2 months, actually. I feel kind of shitty about it, so I'm really glad I'm doing this. What
I'm reading these comments, Dave. They're funny.
You're reading them face down, ass up.
I just look like Brett before sex.
All right, Brandon, 5 seconds. You got your last set. You ready?
No, I gotta drink my water. I was trying to get the comments. I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on.
Andre.
Rapido. Gavin, here, you can start. Brandon can use a little extra break. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm already in my plank.
Well, all right. Hold it the whole 30 seconds this time, B. He did most of it last time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Keep that cord.
Hey, Brandon, just to let you know, Leonardo would do the full plank.
And take a break. You're good. Brandon, you're good.
I'm getting 5 more seconds.
Okay. Now you're good.
You know. Oh my God, I think I just had a baby.
I think it was a premature one, so we'll work on that.
I think so too. What's next?
I'm going to ask you a super serious question. I need you to answer it truthfully and not for pride. We're going to go back into some HIIT intervals. Are you going to be
I had
okay?
a baby. Yeah.
Are you sure?
No, but I'll do my best.
Okay, why don't you take a break? Why don't you just do 2 of the next one, and Gavin can do 2. We'll even give Gavin a break. He can do 2.
Okay, what am I doing?
We're going to do burpees.
Awesome.
Nope. All of a sudden, I'm not feeling right.
No, I love burpees, man. They make your tummy feel all
Brandon,
funny.
you could take a break if you want, and I'm being dead serious.
I just need to get water. When the guest gets here, Joe, we'll bring them in, but you're going to have to start the interview so I can at least catch them air.
Okay.
How many am I doing?
We're just going to do burpees for 30 seconds. Go at your own pace, so don't worry about doing it super fast. Just make sure that it's good form.
For that.
All right, and we're going to start right now. Brandon, just start whenever you're ready. It's 30 seconds. Go ahead, guys. You can do like a little light low jump, Gavin, if you want. You don't have to jump real high. All right, only 10 more seconds almost, guys. Come on. And stop.
Those always make me feel like Spider-Man. That's why I like them.
Oh, you can do Spider-Man's if you really want. Brandon may never talk to me again if we do that right after. Be okay, buddy?
Put your hands over your head. It'll help your breathing. Reach for the sky, cowboy.
All right, we're going to start in about 20 seconds.
For that.
All right, 15 more seconds. All right, B, you ready? We're only going to do 2 sets of this, so you're okay. All right, and go ahead, boys. Brandon, you're just falling. Do a little jump. Make it a small jump. 5 more seconds. Come on. And stop. Brandon, what time's the guest coming?
It's 8 minutes.
Okay, you take a break. I'll have Gavin do like 1 or 2 more workouts, and we'll wrap it up.
Hey.
Okay. I'll be right back. I gotta go throw up.
Mission accomplished. See, I'm on every Wednesday, just at night.
Well done.
All right, Gavin, do you know how to do walking push-ups?
No, I do not. Explain to me.
So I don't have the space behind me. That's part of the reason why I'm not doing it. So it's a regular push-up, but all you're going to do is you're going to, before you go down the second time, you're going to take one hand over, walk 1 foot, go down, and then come back, and just 1 left, 1 middle, 1 right.
Okay, so let me see if I
Yeah, I
got
won't
there.
time it. Go ahead. So do a normal push-up first. Okay, then come up, and then move your right hand over a little bit and your right foot over to match your right hand. Go down in a push-up. And then you could either go right again or left. It's just a walking push-up.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I normally do 1 middle if you don't have a lot of space, 1 middle, 1 left, 1 right. And that's just going to add a little bit more of your full body into your push-up, give it a little bit different of a push-up variation. So we'll just do 2 sets of 10 on that, and then that should be it for the day. I should wrap it up.
Okay, how many is 10? Is it like 1, or is it doing all 3 as 1?
We'll just do 1 as 1 to make it easy since it's 10:53. That way you have a little bit of a break.
Okay, sounds good.
So 1 is 1.
Okay.
And that way you can go at your own pace too. Yep, good form though. That's exactly a walking push-up. They're a little bit more difficult than the standard. Get you moving a little bit.
Awesome.
All right. And then we'll do a 30-second break. I'll start it now on the timer, and then we'll just do 1 more set, and then you'll be good to go.
Sweet. Thank you.
That way you have some time to get some water, get ready to entertain the guest, considering now I have to interview the guest I don't know about yet. So,
Yeah.
What did
definitely.
Brandon in private chat?
All
right, Gavin, go ahead on your mark whenever you're ready.
right.
All right.
Awesome.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Very good job. Gavin, get some water, take some baby sips, get a protein shake if you need it, whatever you want.
Cheers.
Got my pre-workout.
I'm going to take a wet cloth and wipe my face off.
So how are we doing, B? You look a little pale, Casper. You okay?
So our guest today is Mr. Jeff. Now we're going to be able to pronounce his last name. Is Nischwitz. I think he's related to Joe. He's known as a facilitator. I can't breathe. Oh, excuse me. He's known as a facilitator of truth, a snow globe shaker, and leader of shift. He's on a mission to help people shift how they lead and thereby shift their leadership impact. He is an international leadership, team engagement, and culture speaker known for the unique perspective, transformational questionings, and challenging traditional thinking and delivering tangible shifts for leaders to grow their people, build their businesses and enhance their relationships. Ooh. He's also a transformation leadership coach that helps people transform their leadership's experiences and impact. He is a chief shift officer at Cardivera, a leadership development ecosystem, and co-host of the Team Leadership podcast, which focuses on personal and team business growth. He's been a motivational leader, won the Motivational Press Conference in 2014, the Eagle Heart Press Conference in 2017, and just recently the Eagle Heart Press Walking Backwards to present the Camino Trail of the Eagle Best press release in 2020. His name is Jeff. I'm not going to be able to mispronounce his last name, so please know I'm doing that as a courtesy, and I'm honored that he'll be here with us today, guys. So, Joe, that's who we have on our guest. Tonight, we have a special guest on the H, since our main guest isn't here yet. Tonight's guest for the H is sorry, I just taking a quick break to catch my breath.
Actually, you read the bio way better under stress, so I think before the H, we'll have to work out again.
Okay, whatever. I already read the bio for.
No, you did it really good, actually, when you were more tired.
I have my abilities when I'm tired. I focus. Tonight's show, we have a really good show planned for tonight, buddy.
We're gonna have. I hear him coughing a lot.
I don't know. If he died, he died. Just make it go viral.
I'll never have time. You can't go viral.
Gavin, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm making a PB&J.
Oh, never mind. He's hanging out in the kitchen. He's doing great.
So you and I are tonight going to be interviewing Kaylee and McKenna. I've known these girls since they were 3 and 5, and now they are 17 and 15. They are deaf, 100% deaf. And so what?
I don't know sign language. I'm not going to be able to ask them anything.
You don't need to. They read lips, and they're going to teach us about. Dude, they're going to teach us about the deaf culture. And the one girl just got accepted. The older one, just got accepted to Harvard.
Wow, that's amazing.
For medical school.
I was going to ask, what is she? Well, we'll ask her. We'll get into that later. Let's not give. I don't want to give away too much.
I would love you to tell your mom, tell everybody about the show tonight, because if there's ever anything they wanted to know about sign language, even if it's how to say like bullshit or something like that, like I already spoke with these girls' mom. They signed off. Anything that we would like to have them teach us, if they know it, they're going to teach us. But we're having 2 deaf girls come on tonight to be able to show us all about who they are, the deaf culture, and they're going to teach us some sign language. So I hope you're excited for that tonight, Joe.
That'll be fun. That's different. I like that.
You're going to love this one. This is going to be one of my favorite episodes. I already know it. So, Joe, do you want to introduce our guest?
No.
Oh, that's right, because you can't see it. So
I can't see anything. I was like, no. I mean, I'm heading out in a couple minutes, buddy.
I know, buddy. I just wanted to leave you hanging there for a second because you made me work out so hard today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Joe. Let's give Joe. Gavin's 21. I'm 38.
Oh, now the age is okay to say.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it benefits me this time. It didn't benefit me last time.
Exactly.
So, guys, we are going to have on our guest, Mr. Jeff. I do not want to mispronounce your last name. I've already messed it up once, I think. So we'll have you come on and tell everybody exactly who you really are. We are excited that you're here today. Excited to hear about your leadership and breaking through into the best us. Joe, F you for working us out so hard today. We really do appreciate you, Joe. I'm dripping sweat. But, guys, I hope you got a great workout. We're thankful for that you came out and joined us today. Have a great one, Joe. I'll see you at 6 tonight. Ladies and gentlemen.
Gavin, I'll see you, buddy. Have a great day. I'll see you guys.
Cheers.
Have a great show,
Thanks
boys.
for the workout. Peace out.
I'm super excited, guys. We just read his bio. I'm super excited to have Mr. Jeff on here. Give him a warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jeff N. There's a delay, I think, on that.
Oh,
Is it pronounced Nischwitz?
Nischwitz.
Nischwitz.
I
That was my
think it's
second
brilliant.
guess.
Go with Jeff N. That's a brilliant strategy. That's awesome.
I saw it, and the guy that we just had on comes on to work us out every Wednesday, and it's so everybody can get a workout in their home. 5 minutes before you came on, I was in a Ninja Turtle onesie and doing push-ups and jumping jacks and all that, and Gavin's over there in a tank top, and he's like, yeah, look at me, I'm sexy, and I'm like, ugh. But I go to read your name, and right when I went to read it, I was like, I've practiced this, and I cannot get his name right, so I'm just going to make sure I say Jeff N. And then I read your whole bio. I'm like, poor guy's going to be like, why can't they just pronounce my name?
Oh, I've been living with it for a long time. It's all good. All good.
I have been looking into you. I found your website. I'm going to bring that up for everybody to see right away so they can go to it, and then we'll share the link for it. But you've spent your life transforming people and organizations, one truth at a time. I love that slogan. What does that mean to you, and how did you even get into starting something like this?
Well, I'll start with the statement. A lot of people find that tagline arrogant. They're like, well, who the hell are you, Jeff, to think that you know the truth? And what it means to me is helping people rediscover their own truth and understanding that what they've been told and what they've interpreted about the world doesn't make it true. It's just what they've come to believe is true. So a lot of it is about changing your perception. You know, I do believe that as soon as
I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon it cut out there. I'm sorry. Can you hear us?
I hear you. I hear myself playing back, which is fun.
Right. Like, I'm like, where is that coming from? I thought it was us. That's why I was like clicking it out. So I looked on your website, and what it said is emotional awareness. And I want to run with that. That was the first thing that jumped out to me. Emotional awareness as individuals. How do you work with people on knowing what that means? Because we're all emotional beings, and it's very easy to let life do its thing and have emotional reactions. How do you teach people emotional awareness? Playing in the background.
Yeah.
Do us a favor, hit pause on that, because that's just playing, and you'll be able to hear us a lot clearer, and you won't have that background noise.
Yeah, let me see if I didn't know I had it on there, but let me get rid of it.
He hung up on us,
Okay.
Gavin. He got tired of you.
I saw. I'm not sure what happened.
I don't know either. His computer was giving him an echo lag, so I'm wondering if that had something to do with it. Holy cow. When he comes back, I'm going to pass out. You get the whole interview today.
Okay. What were you two talking about while I was switching my headsets?
No problem. So I pulled up his website. I put the link in there. And I asked him about emotional awareness. Like he has a whole segment about emotional intelligence has become the buzzword and a cliche the last decade. Everyone talking about the importance of emotional intelligence. And I was asking him about that and having emotional intelligence. And Gavin, it couldn't hear us either, so it must have been something with the internet. But he goes, "What'd you even ask him?" And I'm like, "Oh, hold on." So, excuse me. My thing was emotional intelligence, emotional awareness. Even in your bio on that, it says how it's become a cliche of a word. How do you teach people about emotional intelligence so it's not just another, this is what you're supposed to do?
Well, two things. Number one, to understand the limits of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence today is mostly about having some awareness of sort of your tendencies so you can navigate them differently. But there's such a deeper level to really understand what are my emotions, what are my emotional triggers. Am I willing to accept that almost all of my emotions trigger me in some way? And trigger's not a bad thing. It's just a truth. And emotions aren't bad. So a big part is helping people understand that their emotions are vital. They're not good or bad. Like I don't even call them good or bad emotions. And being aware and start to understand what drives those emotions. And then they can interact with others with not controlling their emotions, but learn from their emotions. Like for me, I learn the most from anger. Because I don't get angry a lot, but when I do, I go, time to learn a lesson. So I look at emotions as a teaching tool, but we've been culturized to say emotions are bad, especially men. We've been told don't have emotions. You shouldn't have any range of emotions. And I won't go fully down the rabbit trail here, but one of the gender differences is that men in our culture, in the U.S. at least, have one safe emotion. Any guess which one that is?
Anger.
Anger, exactly. Because if a guy gets angry, as long as he doesn't rage, they go, yep, that's what guys do. Guys are not allowed to be scared because that's weak. They're not allowed to be sad because that's a weakness. They're not allowed even to be too happy because that's not what you do. You just gut it out. And women on the flip side, actually culturally, they're all safe emotions except for one.
Anger.
We made up a word for angry women, right? So we are really messed up in our emotions and we're terrified of them. So part of what I do is help people just embrace your emotions. They're amazing things. They remind us that we're human, and then let's use them as learning tools so that if it's an emotion that we don't want, like for example, anger is not a bad emotion. Where it becomes a problem is where I unleash my anger on you or someone else. Or typically what happens is anger comes out sideways, which means it comes out at people that it has nothing to do with. That's the old joke of, I had a bad day at work, so I went home and I kicked the dog. We laugh at that, but that's what we do every day. We have a bad experience and the people that experience it are not even the people involved in it. So it's a lot about starting with allowing our emotions to be kind of our friends versus something we need to avoid.
Yeah. So with that, if somebody is not in tune with their emotions, okay, and they are projecting anger, like I'm just going to use men because the three of us are here. It's easy to use this. We cannot say what it's like to be a woman. So it just makes this conversation easy to flow. And that way we're not putting any stereotypes and I'm not getting any emails. But at the end of the day, it's, as a man, we're not allowed, like you said, we're not allowed. Anger is what we're thought of. Anger is what we're getting, what we're associated with whenever we do things. It's we get pushed till we're angry and stuff. But if you're not in control of your emotions and you're not able to see that's what's going on there, how would you recommend people be able to catch that they're out of their emotions? Hey, CK, sorry, one of our regulars just popped in to say hi. I wanted to make sure I popped in. How would you help people with that to know you're living, to catch themselves? So let's say I'm doing it. This is a better question. Wow. The workout made my blood flow to my brain for the first time in a long time, apparently. But with people, I have a conversation and my emotions get entangled into it. How do I separate the emotions to knowing its emotional response to an actual hearing the response?
A couple things. Number one, you used a great word, catch. Important. If we learn to catch them versus try to control them, because trying to control emotions are energy. So it's in this energy that's happening. How do I control that? I don't. We are human beings. Our emotions are a natural reaction. They're a natural phenomenon. So we want to learn to catch them and catch them quicker. So if you think about, if any of you are or have been in relationships, this is where it usually shows up most obviously. You do or say something really stupid.
All the time.
And you realize, but in the beginning, you realize it like a week later and you go, yeah, that was probably dumb. And you go, I need to do better. And then you catch yourself the next day. Then you catch yourself half day later. Then you find you catch yourself in the moment right after you did it. And then you catch yourself even before it happens. So there's this progression with our emotions. So we're going to catch them. The other, and this is a big one, Brandon, is I assume that all my reactions are emotional. The only question is, what's the emotion? By embracing that right there, I open up the possibility to learning at a transformational level. I accept that's because what else am I reacting? I'm reacting with logic. Well, I know I don't react with logic. I use logic, but my reactions are emotional. So here's a key thing to do in the moment. Number one, to be honest about what the emotion is and start to learn what they are. For example, for men, often men go to anger, but that's not the real emotion because anger is the safe one.
Yeah.
So if you start to get under it, what's really going on? Well, I'm actually kind of scared right now, but you're going to get anger because I can't show fear. I'm really feeling sad right now, but you're going to see anger because that's the one that I'm allowed to have. But here's this little exercise I use. When I start to feel the emotions coming up, hopefully I can be honest about what they are. Let's say it's anger. Say to yourself, why am I angry? Just ask yourself that question. Why am I angry? If you say I'm not angry, I'm frustrated, that's fine. That's a version of angry. Why am I frustrated? But here's the tricky part. Your first couple answers aren't going to be true because your first couple answers are going to be about other things, other people. But you're the one that's angry.
Yeah.
So if your answer has to do with someone else, that's not the truth. So I may say I'm angry because Gavin didn't do what he said he was going to do.
Every day.
Every day. Well, but that's what happened. That did happen. But Gavin not doing what he said he's going to do is the trigger to my anger. But what am I really angry about? I have to keep going with that question. But why, until it's about me. So until it's about me. And now in that case, if it's about performance, it's probably going to get down to one of two things. If Gavin's not doing what he says he's going to do, that means I'm failing him as a leader. So I'm afraid that I'm failing him as a leader. And so I'm afraid that I'm not adequate. I'm not worthy enough. Or I say Gavin not doing what he says he's going to do might make me look bad to someone else. So I'm afraid that I'm going to look bad. So what I do in this, what happens in the exercise is I separate myself from Gavin. It's my anger. Gavin's the trigger. Well, what it usually does is, number one, it lowers the intensity of the emotion. So it's not going to be firing. It makes it about me, it is about me. I'm the one that's angry. And it allows me perhaps and often to go communicate with Gavin from a place about what happened versus the emotion. Most of our communication problems are because they're so emotionally charged that nobody's listening. If I come to you to talk to you, Gavin, about this and I'm angry, you're not listening. Yeah. Because your sole focus is on my anger. And then, oh, by the way, here's another tip. How often have you had this argument? Someone says, why are you angry? You say, I'm not angry. And then you end up in an argument about whether or not you're actually angry.
Yeah.
So here's what I use. I use the word energized. I'm energized because emotions aren't energy. I'm energized. We don't have to label it. Right now I got something going on. I'm energized. So That question makes it about me, and it allows me to separate from the emotion and lower the energy of the emotion. So now I can talk to Gavin from a place of information. Hey, let's talk about what happened here or didn't happen here versus what the F's going on here energy that I'm going to give him, which he won't hear. Even if he messed up, he's still not going to hear that, because I always say this, when we talk to people from a highly energized state, especially things like anger, sadness, and fear, it comes with a finger. And even if I don't have my finger out, if I'm talking to you with this energy, all you're focused on is my finger and you want to snap it off. You're not hearing a word I'm saying. So that's kind of a brief approach to emotions that is pretty different from things I've experienced.
So what if you do, what if the tables are turned? How do you de-escalate a situation if you're not the one who is angry, or if you are or feeling emotions, you're energized, and you have recognized that and have calmed down and diffused yourself a bit, but the other person is still coming after you and they still have all that energy? How do you help defuse them?
Well, I'll tell you from two sides. First, I'm going to start with one thing not to do. Unless you have an incredibly good relationship with that other person, and that would be the rare relationship, because in that case, like if it was someone that I knew and we had the same language, I might say to them, let's say it's Brandon, hey Brandon, look, clearly I've triggered you in some way. I'm going to just talk about, I've triggered you with no energy with it. And now we'll try and have a conversation about the trigger. I'm not going to have a lot of those relationships. So I'm not going to try and tell them. I'm not going to say to them, by the way, hey, Gavin, here's what's really going on. I've triggered you, but this is really about you. So I think you need to spend some time figuring out how this is about you. That's not going to go well. The key to me is, it's really simple, is to understand. And God, who was this? Have either of you heard of a guy named Don Miguel Ruiz? Wrote a wonderful book. He's written several books. He's written several books. His most famous is called The Four Agreements, and it is life-changing. And one of the agreements is it's not personal. So to remember that in that context, even though it feels personal, it's not personal, because I know it's about Gavin. Mm-hmm. So by keeping it, not making it personal to me, I can keep my energy down. And I will tell you, this is fascinating, especially for men, because for the first time I remember practicing this in a real life, potentially volatile situation was, it was probably 9 years ago. I was at a bar listening to some music with a friend of mine. My friend introduced me to a couple there. I had a nice conversation with them. They were telling me how great their lives were, their great relationship was. And later in the evening, they got in this big argument, like screaming at each other. And it was all about the guy and by the way, they owned a house together. They'd been living together. So they were deep in relationship. They were everything but married. He had made a comment to me that he had noticed a woman there did not have a wedding ring on. So she was pissed at him for noticing that. And I was trying to say, well, guys just notice that stuff. It's like it's an autopilot thing. Right. But they were going at it. But then it got really intense. And this guy, big guy, probably about my size, I'm 6'4". He started grabbing her arm. And I said, I'm not going to let that happen. So I stepped in, and what I started doing was I did the first couple times, and I continued to when he did it. I took his hand off of her. Mm-hmm. He was amped up, but I kept my energy really low. And I kept repeating the same phrase. I just kept saying, I think his name was Tom. I said, Tom, men don't do that. Mm. And he was screaming at me. He started doing the poking in the chest thing. He was angry. And I don't know what else he was. He was showing anger. I suspect there might have been some fear, or maybe even some shame. He feels like he's being shown up now. His manhood's being challenged, but not in the normal way, because I wasn't confronting him. And his tone kept escalating, but I kept mine calm, and I just kept saying, Tom, men don't do that. And, have your argument, but I said, I'm not going to let you touch her.
Yeah.
And he did everything he could to provoke me with volume, with words, the poking in the chest. And I just kept calm. And later people said, well, how did you do that? Why didn't you respond? I said, well, how did response help? If I had escalated, it would have escalated. They said, but what if he tried to hurt you? I said, well, of course I would have defended myself, but he wasn't trying to hurt me. He was trying to intimidate me. I didn't. But typically we rise to the occasion because our natural response is protection. And we think protection is, I've got to match that. And the key to emotions is to not match the emotions. But that means me being okay with me and catching myself in the moment, to your word, Brandon, and saying, no, all I need to do right now is communicate. And it happened very fast, but it was me saying, what needs to happen? I want to keep her safe. I want to keep her safe. Now, it turns out in retrospect, that was a more volatile situation than I imagined. And it could have gone worse. I still would have handled it the same way, because the sad story is, despite their great relationship, 2 weeks later, for the first time in their relationship, he beat her so bad he almost killed her. Put her in the hospital. He's in prison. He went to prison for a number of years.
Good. Sorry, I
Right.
agree with you.
Good. I agree with you.
Did the thing is, there's so many men that do this, and that's actually going to lead me to my question of this is, let's just use, like we said, men, like they follow this criteria. How, you being an individual who wants to break that stereotype, I know that when you do that as a bald guy and a beard like you, we're in a category that's unique. But at the end of the day, trying to express without emotion, anger, or anything there with another male who doesn't have that, it gets to where they're doing the poking, and that being a female, it's still doing that empowerment over them. And that's not healthy. For a man to another man, you're going to protect yourself. But for you, how do you handle when other men are around that are being like that? Maybe it's not towards their girl, like he deserved getting put in jail, but to just a random stranger. How do you keep yourself from that? And I'm looking at your books. I have like 20 questions already written back here. So Gavin better be ready to get in here.
Yeah. Part of it is making a clear choice of the kind of man I want to be. A really clear choice, because in the moment it's hard to be something that you're not sure about, because you're trying to figure out, what does that look like? I've spent a lot of time the last 10 or 12 years really deciding what kind of man I want to be. Secondly, I still exercise discernment. I would love to tell the world, and I can't, that every time I'm in a scenario where I judge something wrong, that I speak up. I speak up more than I did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, but I don't always. I've practiced different ways to speak up. I will say this about the emotion. I keep coming back. I think you used the word again, Brandon, control my emotion. There are times I need to control it, but typically I'm able to manage the emotions differently because I know it's about me. So if you take the extreme examples, take an extreme example like that. I actually wasn't angry with his behavior. I was probably angry with his behavior later. I was more afraid for her. So, but what I didn't want to do is bring my fear into the energy, because that would have probably shown up as anger, to, puff myself up, because I was just grounded in that. So I would say that's a word we throw around a lot. Part of it is just courage. Do I have the courage to speak up, even though it may not be well received? And I practice how speaking up. So for example, an area that's very troubling to me is I used to be a part of this. Absolutely. I used to be a part of it. I used to tell the misogynistic jokes. I was that guy. And then I said, that's not who I want to be. And so then I went to the point that I didn't tell them as much, but I didn't laugh at them. And I was telling myself, well, now I'm not participating because I don't think it's funny, but I'm not laughing. And then I started speaking up, and I started speaking up even when women weren't present, because it wasn't about whether they were present. And then I started practice. I think sometimes it's helpful to have some language. So typically when that happens, I will say, if I speak up, I will say, hey, I'm not okay with that. Well, it's just a joke. I
Yeah.
said, I get what you think it is or not. I'm not going to debate whether it's a joke or not. It's not okay with me. Well, but nobody's here to hear it. I said, I get it. All to me is it's not okay with me, because for me, the simple word I keep communicating is it's not respectful.
Right.
It's just not respectful. And I do that because no one can convince me it is respectful. So there's not, now you may argue with me, but you're never going to have an argument that says it's respectful. You're going to say it's something else. It's a joke. It's not intended. It doesn't matter. It's not respectful. So and I can bring that up without emotion. And if someone gets emotional with me, I typically don't, because I've learned that about my triggers. And I've learned that what triggers in me is that if I would speak up and they push back, I'm going to get defensive because I make it about me. Well, how's it about me? I'm just telling them what I believe. I'm telling them what my truth is. That's that phrase about the truth. I'm telling them what my truth is. Their truth may be different, and they can try and convince me of their truth, but I'm really grounded in my truth. And that doesn't work for me, and I don't find it respectful. And not everybody's open, and that's okay. It's not my job to change the world. It's my job. It's my opportunity to choose how I show up in the world.
Yeah.
And does that change? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't.
I love how you phrase that. You use two things in that last sentence that I'm absolutely all about. You keep it's not what you're grounded in, and that's very essential because that helps you create your boundaries with people. And it's not what you're about on these things. Like if it's not a joke you wouldn't tell, you shouldn't let others tell it to you. Like, and that's not being rude. It's creating a boundary. And I think a lot of people, we subject ourselves to the peer pressure of that and accepting these jokes and accepting things that maybe we wouldn't normally accept. And I think you said that in a great way of introducing people to setting a boundary, knowing who they are, and being grounded in it. I want to jump into your book, Just One Step, Walking Backwards to the Present on the Camino Trail. I'm going to pull that up here for everybody to see. Can you tell us a little bit about your book and why I'm going to be buying it off your website in a few minutes?
Yeah. This book is truly a journey of love, in the sense that I'll do the brief version. In 2014 or 15, I think it was, I stumbled onto a movie called The Way. And The Way is a movie with Martin Sheen. It's about the Camino de Santiago in Spain, which is a pilgrimage walking journey. It's been there for over 1,000 years. Back in the day, it was way back when it was a religious journey. And it was a religious journey to the town of Santiago de Compostela, which is the Camino de Santiago means the way of St. James. And St. James, who, if from a biblical perspective, was there with Jesus, supposedly his remains are interred in this church in Santiago. So people will just walk there. And there's several trails in Spain. The most famous is called the Camino Francés, or the French Camino. If you walk the whole thing, it's 500 miles. I walked 200 miles of it. I was called to this journey by the movie I saw. And then once I went, I had such a profound experience. I decided to write about it. And so it's a memoir-ish about the walk, but it's more about different ways to live your life every day. And you don't have to go to the Camino. You can have these things in your life. It's about living more present. It's about groundedness. It's about detaching, if this word resonates with both of you, having less attachment to outcomes. It's about lessening stress. It's real life, everyday things, and they're tied to stories on the Camino. But I keep telling people, you don't have to go to the Camino. Go if you want to. It's an incredible journey, but it's just different ways to live. And I call it a labor of love, because I was going back and forth about whether I would write this book. For a year, I went back and forth. And then I realized two things. Number one, if I hesitate that long with something, I know it's a fear thing. So then I started going, so Jeff, what are you afraid of? And it was Mother's Day, a year before the book came out. I was sitting I was in church actually on Mother's Day, and my mom had just passed away 3 months earlier. And so it was a really sad day. But I was also sitting there thinking to myself, Jeff, what are you going to do about this book? Come on, dude, make a decision. Whatever's going on, just decide. I just was literally sitting there saying, just decide. And as I'm sitting there, and right after I said decide, I didn't make a decision, but what came into my conscious, or through my unconscious into my conscious thought, was the dedication of the book, which was to my mom. And it's almost verbatim what hit me in that church that day is what the book says. So I kind of smiled and went, oh, I guess I'm doing the book, because, you know, the universe just provided me with the dedication that was about mom. And then it connected to, you know, my mom passing, and she always loved my adventures over the last years of her life. And it was always, because whenever she would call me or I'd call her, her first question was always, where are you? Because so often I was off somewhere. And so, yeah, that's why I call it a love journey.
Do you think that your mother passing was the kick in the pants that you needed to get the book started?
You know, it could have been, Gavin. It could have been. There are certainly things that, this is going to sound strange saying it, I got so many gifts from her passing.
Yeah.
It could have been the kick on the pants on the book. I had an experience that I've shared many times as a speaker and as a coach. She passed 3 years ago, about the moment that she died. I mean, literally the moment she took her last breath, and I was blessed to be there. And I was kneeling next to her, holding her hand, and watched the breathing stop. And what I've shared over and over these last 3 years is, in that moment, I experienced simultaneously immense, deep grief, immense, just guttural, almost wailing, tears flooding out of me. And at the exact same moment, the same intense, deep joy. Not that she had passed, but the fact that I was there to witness it, that she and I had walked this journey of life for, at that point, almost 60 years, that and the simplicity of her breath stopping. There was something beautiful in it of, wow, that was it. Not like, oh, that's it. It was, oh my God. And so in that moment, I was deeply grieving and deeply joyful. And that confirmed to me that emotions coexist. Emotions are not either or. It's not which am I. I have all of these, and they're all beautiful and incredible and juicy and rich, and they remind me that I am human and I'm living a life. And the more emotions I experience, the more I go, oh my God, I'm alive. I am alive because of my emotions tell me I'm alive. So people who walk through life numbed out, men as a big group, because culture said you need to be stoic. Such bullshit, man. That is the thing that I started my journey only about 11 years ago to be a different kind of man, through an organization called the Mankind Project. I'm deeply involved with them now, but I'm also bringing it in my business world. I coach a lot of men. I just launched 2 days ago a program, a group coaching program called Be a Man, which is all about reframing what does it mean to be a man, and take those bullshit stories we all got from the time we were kids, through movies to everything, to say, you know what, we're trying to be strong men, but what we really need to do, embrace what it really means to be a man and to be truly powerful, grounded and powerful. And grounded, powerful beats strong all day long. Because that was the difference in that bar 9 years ago. There was a strong man and there was a grounded, powerful man.
Yeah.
And that was the difference.
I think that I think that emotions are sort of like a seasoning. It's like a spice, and each situation is a new dish. You have to learn which emotion, which spice to add to it in order to get the best result out of it. Like, and when it comes to like culture, I think the reason why we see that stoicism a lot of time is because in our back of our mind, that's what we want to be. We want to be the hero. We want to be the guy who slays the dragon. We want to be the guy who saves the day. And because of that, subconsciously, we create every situation, every little bit of conflict in our life. We subconsciously make it a dragon to be slain, so we can be this hero, and it becomes this sort of look at me stoic, in control of the situation, I got it, don't worry kind of thing. But we can't do that with every situation. So it comes out of control, and that's where the emotion comes in that we don't know how to control. We don't understand them. And so we do things like grabbing our significant other's arm in a bar, or screaming and raising our voice, or instead of arguing about whatever the topic was, we're now just spitting venom at one another.
You're absolutely right, Gavin. And part of the challenge is that definition of hero was defined for us in more modern time. And the definition of a hero that we were given was what you described. It was someone who always had it together, who keeps it, they're fearless. That's such bullshit. Nobody's fearless. If you're fearless, you're probably a sociopath and maybe a psychopath. We all have fear. The question is, what do we do with the fear? Do I choose to put my fear aside? Do I step through my fear? But when I start saying I have no fear, and we got this definition of a hero, but we can slay the dragon even more effectively and be the hero of our own lives and our children's lives and our partners' lives and our team members' lives by showing up more as a human. Just show up as a human, flawed, imperfect, but committed to getting better every day. That's what and who slays dragons. Because here's the other truth. Almost all the dragons are inside of us.
Oh yeah.
That's the battle. I got to slay the dragons inside of me. That's what's funny about that is I keep going to men because I do a lot of work with men. I'll talk to men about, being courageous. They say, well, I do all sorts of crazy stuff. Like what? I jump out of planes. I climb mountains. And I'll go, wow, that's impressive. Yeah, that's impressive. Hey, right now we're going to get really vulnerable and talk about your feelings. Oh, hell no. We're not going there. Oh, well, I thought you were courageous. Because we have this definition that everything's big and bold, and it's not. Our lives transform in the tiniest of moments. When you use your word, Brandon, when you catch yourself and you do one thing different than you did yesterday because you caught yourself, that's transformation. Yeah. That's transformation. It's not this, the trumpets blared. Oh my God, this is so different. No.
Right.
It's one new decision versus the next new decision versus the next new decision. That's transformation.
With the newest men's program that you just launched for men and all that, you were saying, is there a way that I could sign up for that, or I could put a link for the audience for them to sign up? I just think that that's a transformational thing that a lot of people need. They need to be able to know themselves. And I think in particular, we've done many conversations about mental health on here. I have a show on Wednesday nights. Gavin has a show on that he does with music, but we focus on how being vulnerable really is essential. You need to be able to know who you are, to be grounded, to have your emotions in check. Having a way of being able, even if we add this to our website and stuff, where people can go to, I got it right here.
Thank you. Get it there?
Yeah. I did. Thank you. Where people are able to go and be able to open up themselves and be able to know they're going to a safe place. That's what we're trying to build with our community here, is a true open dialogue for people to be able to find their best selves, be able to be their best them. And that's.
He hit the button.
He hit the wrong button. Or maybe his internet just broke out. No, I'm not sure where his train of thought was going, but I was agreeing with it. I was enjoying listening to him while he was here.
Well, I think I sensed where he was going, and he was talking about a safe place. And
yeah,
in the last 10 years, you'll hear me say that a lot. 10 years, I create a mission for myself, a personal mission, and it's evolved a little. But today, my mission that I look at every day and every night, here's how I want to show up today. Did I show up that way today? Is these words: I co-create a world of safety. There's that word, safety, hope, and healing, because I believe that this is a healing journey. And I do that by modeling authenticity, vulnerability, and unconditional love. If I do that every day, that means I live my mission today. When I go to bed at night, if I did that, and if I didn't, I say, so what happened? What kept me from that mission? And when I make decisions, I look at that. And then I look for the signs, because rarely in our lives do we get direct reinforcement. We got to look for the signs. And so the signs are when someone says, it really felt safe. But they don't even usually say that. I know it was safe because someone that maybe I just met, or a brand new coaching client, or a group of people on a group coaching session very quickly start sharing things that you know they don't share with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They only do that when they feel safe. And what I believe is that my vulnerability opens the door for your vulnerability. And I have to go first. That's just the deal. That's just the deal. And that's the deal I've chosen to take. That's the man I have chosen to be. And you'll hear those words a lot from me back to how have I chosen to be? Because one thing I dumped 10 or 12 years ago when I started doing this work on myself is I would have told you I was a good guy, a good man.
Mm.
I realized it really wasn't. I realized I was a nice guy, but I wasn't a good man. And then I started to figure out what's the difference and how do I want to be? How do I want to show up? And it's sometimes a messy as hell journey. I mess up.
Yeah.
But do I learn from it? Do I adjust from it?
Mm-hmm.
A story that I'll summarize because it's a bit long real quick. I think really applies to not only this, but any sort of situation, especially like a self-improvement kind of thing. It's a story about this little village, and there's a mountain right next to it. At the top of the mountain lives a dragon who every month this village has to sacrifice people to the dragon. They're running out of people. They're running out of resources and stuff like that, and they're starting to freak out. And there are a couple scientists there and engineers who have figured out blueprints on how to slay this dragon. They figured out how to build a machine to kill it. And the story goes on about all the politics and stuff and the worries and the fears about making it and if it's going to work or not, because they only really get one shot to do it. And they end up going along with it. The village ends up voting and agrees to get it done. It takes a couple years, and they get it made. And on the day that they're getting ready to fire it, they've already sent the day before the next group of sacrifices. And villagers are upset because if they would have started making this weapon one day prior, their family members, their friends would have been saved. Mm-hmm. And that applies to us and our issues in life, just because you got to think about, like, once you start making these changes, once you start improving on yourself, you realize all the opportunities that come along and all the people that you get to meet. But then once you take that next step, you start to realize that there were so many things you probably missed that you don't even know about yet. Or maybe you do know about them, these opportunities, people you could have met. So the sooner that you start making these changes and fixing yourself and at least acknowledging the problem, then the sooner you'll be able to get to that one day and save those few more sacrifices.
I love that, Gavin. I think that's the word that comes out of me with that is a sense of living life with a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
That things change so dramatically, and that one day does make a difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We may never know it. That's like that. Your story paints a vivid picture of, oh, there's the impact of the day.
Yeah.
But most things we don't know it. We have to decide if we trust that's true. And I don't always act with a sense of urgency, but that's my reminder. And every time I experience yet another person or a situation, and it could be big or small, it could be like the story I told you of the guy who beats his girlfriend, to someone who's struggling with their relationship, and it's just pain. They're just in pain.
Yeah.
And the world we live in is full of pain. This country, the United States, is full of pain. We're the most medicated country on the planet. That's not something to brag about.
Are we really?
Prescription drugs, antidepressants, alcohol, and drugs. We are the most highly medicated culture in the world. What are we numbing out from? I think it's all this pain.
I think it's also it's a combination of that with people that it's become more of everybody's been adapting to this pain, and adapting to pain as we've learned different ways of coping, from eating to blaming others to many different things, to just taking a pill. And the biggest thing we need to do is know that ourselves. And I think that I love your, like, I've been sneaking back and forth with your website, because your books, I've ordered 2 because the Unmask, Unleash Your True Leader, looks fascinating to me as well. And then your YouTube page. Can you explain what a bed talk is? I'm going to bring this up for everybody to see while I subscribe, because this just had me crack it up. I'm like, wait a minute, this is great.
So it's going to change soon. I just haven't pulled the trigger. But why they're called bed talks is this. When COVID started back last March of 2020, one of my fellow speaker friends, Dave Rendell, who's in my speaker mastermind, came up with a brilliant idea. He said, look, we're all speakers, and speakers always want to do a TED talk. Like, that's the holy grail. And few ever do, or you do a TEDx talk. That's the holy grail. So he said, well, we can't do TED talks. We should do bed talks because nobody's going out. So we'll do like a message for the day from bed. And Dave did a lot of other speakers tried it for a brief time. I mean, like brief. I as far as I know, I'm the only one who stuck with it. I just published 296 today. So every business day for over a year. And they're called bed talks. But what happened is, if you look at them, you'll see no semblance of a bed, because in the beginning, I literally did them in bed. And then at the time, my girlfriend's son, who's like 8 or 9 at the time, sees her watching one. And she goes, he says, what's that? He goes, well, that's Jeff. He does these recorded things. He goes, he's in bed. She goes, well, yeah, they're called bed talks. And he got really quiet, apparently. And then later she tells the story and says, Conrad, tell Jeff what you said. He goes, no. He said, Jeff, your wall's really boring. Like, you're saying some pretty good stuff, but it's really boring because all I see is like the bed. There's not even a picture. And I go, you know what? That's really funny. You're right. So then I started using backgrounds of bedrooms, like really fancy bedrooms, like you go from all over the world, like cool things. And I did that for a while. And then it's, why am I doing this? This really isn't a bed talk, but I kept the name because I've been using it. My intention is to change it because I'm known as a snow globe shaker. And I'm going to change them to like daily shake up. But yeah, bed talk. Everybody goes, what does BED mean? I goes, it means a bed.
Right.
That's what it means. It's not an acronym. It's a bed, except you're not in bed. I know. That's the humor in it. So that's what those are about.
Now, all right, explain snow globe shaker. That's on my question list. Do you just walk around and shaking people, and like that's how you do it?
Pretty much, but start with myself. So I always have one handy. I didn't plan it. I always have one handy. So I was standing on a stage about 4 years ago, and I did what I usually do. I trusted my intuition because an idea came to me on stage about snow globes. I didn't even own a snow globe at the time. That's what's weird. I didn't think about snow globes. And the idea, which has evolved over the last few years, is that snow globes, this happens to be one from the show Wicked.
I love Wicked.
Because I love theater. So, this is a passion of mine. I bought this in London when I was fortunate to see Wicked in London. But snow globes exist for a single reason. It's not a trick question. Why do they exist?
To be shaken and enjoyed?
Exactly. They don't exist to sit here. They're pretty, but they exist for this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to shake them. You wouldn't have liquid or have nothing in there to float around, right? Yeah. So they're supposed to be shaken. But then I started realizing most people never shake the snow globe. The reason is it's good enough as it is. It's very pretty as it is. It looks nice. And when they do shake it up, and just like when we try and shake things up in our lives and our teams and our leadership, our relationship, we do this, but we didn't really change anything. Because as soon as you stop shaking, this is what I loved. I didn't see this coming. When you stop shaking a snow globe, what starts to happen immediately? What does it do?
Settles down.
What's the word? It settles.
Yeah.
And so snow globes are a metaphor of how we settle in our lives. It's good enough. I don't have to shake it up. And my premise is we need to shake things up constantly. We also have to shift our perspective. That's that shifting of what we thought was true. And I've got to shake up I've got to start with myself, and I can't shake other people up. What I can do is invite them and make it safe for them to shake it up. But too many people are trying to shake everybody else's snow globes, and that's just stressful. And I feel out of control. And the last thing I'll say about it, COVID was a gift to this concept because so many people have said, well, wait a minute, Jeff, with all due respect, I kind of like this. It's a good story. but I've gotten shaken enough. I don't want to shake anymore. And I said, no, you're completely wrong. Because when we're being shaken externally, it's even more important to shake ourselves internally. Because if otherwise, the visual I came up with is, imagine you're inside a giant snow globe. It's human size. You're in there, and it's being shaken by this thing called a pandemic, and by all the social justice issues, all the divisiveness, the contentiousness, all this. The globe is being shaken, and you're inside trying to hold firm. That's not going to work. You're going to get slammed against the walls. What you have to do is you have to keep jumping up and down. Right? So we need to constantly disrupt ourselves, disrupt our thinking, disrupt our perceptions, constantly ask ourselves, is that really true? And go into things like I said earlier, that question of, why am I angry? That's disruptive. Because typically what I go is, why am I angry? Well, because Jordan said that about my sister.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, I love movies. One of the great lessons about the anger thing and triggers is in the movie Roadhouse. Do you remember that movie, Roadhouse?
Roadhouse.
It's a horrible movie, except we watched it like 50 times. It's like every time I watch it, I go, man, this is a horrible movie. But I want to watch it over and over. But there's a moment in there where, what's his name? The character. Patrick Swayze.
Thank you. I could picture his face.
He takes over. He's now in charge at the Double Deuce. And he has a team meeting. And he says, rule number 1 is to be nice. Rule number 1 is to be nice. And one of the guys that works there looks at him and says, well, what if someone calls my mama a whore? And Patrick Swayze's response, that everybody laughs at, but misses the wisdom in it, says, is she? Well, he gets angry and everybody laughs. But there's a real message in there, because what he's saying is, if it's not true, why are you bothered? We've been told that if it's not true, we should be more bothered. I say, no, the opposite. If it's not true, you just let it roll off. And here's the one that people don't want to hear. When you get triggered by something someone says about you, you got triggered because the part of you believes they're right.
Ooh, deep.
That one, people do not want to hear that one. And it is one of those truths that if you can accept that, transformation, because you go, well, so I believe that. I still believe that.
Wow.
Huh.
That's
and I
awesome.
don't want to believe it, but that's a big one.
So I really quick, I love what one of our audience members said, the Breakthrough Show. She's one of our regular guests as well. She's in another thought that when things are shaken up, we get scared instead of realizing that is what is supposed to happen. What if we simply said, this is supposed to happen? Nothing will ever. Oh yeah, nothing will ever change in our lives if we choose to stay the same. So I say that I'm going to share your website again for everybody. But I at the end of our show, we usually do an uplifting, positive, motivational way of giving everybody a way to get through the week. Today is Wednesday, right? I'm not like messed up on my dates again.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, today's Wednesday. Yeah.
Today's hump day. Heck yeah, buddy. We're getting through this week. We're almost there.
With how you were doing the push-ups earlier, it is hump day.
Dude, I got it. When he said do burpees, I'm like, I'm just falling to the ground. I'll fall and roll over and stand up. Like, I was tired. But we end with positivity. Go ahead, Gavin. You can take us out today. I love you.
Oh, no. You're it's already the end of the episode. Okay, never mind. I was about to go on another tangent really quick. No, you're good.
There's only like 5 or 7 minutes left, and the way we say goodbye, usually it ends up taking like 10 minutes. So
I know. I'll use my last tangent for my final words.
All right, go ahead. I'll be quiet.
Okay, so what we'd like to do at the end of each episode then is we like to do some final words, just wrapping up the show. It could be a little word of advice, piece positive affirmation, or it'll be something that pertains to the show usually. I will go first, and we'll have Brandon go, and then since you are the guest, Jeff, we will have you go last. I was one of the guest talkers on the book club that we have with Christina here at the Light Cafe the other day, and the book that we were talking about a chapter of it's about vulnerability. And one of the things that I brought up during the conversation that I still find to be very true is that it's kind of weird. It's interesting because when you have everybody else trying to shake your snow globe, and you're trying to accept that you're trying to please everybody, you end up making nobody happy. But if you decide to take yourself and really focus on yourself and do what makes you happy instead of what everybody else wants or what you think people will make them happy, you do what makes you happy. You stay true to yourself. What ends up happening is you do make everybody happy, because the people who aren't happy with that end up leaving your life. They end up going their own way. And the people who relate to you, who do believe in that, who do believe in who you are and what you're doing and see that authenticity and respect and admire that, they will come to you. And there are so many people in the world that you can be 100% yourself, because you will end up finding that 1, 2, even a couple hundred people, if you're on a social platform, who agree with you and think the same way. There's over 7 billion people in the world. So don't be so worried about the 5 or 6 people in your life that don't agree with how you live. Just focus on who you are, and the hundreds of people who do agree will find their way to you. I'm not saying go around being a dick, don't hurt people or anything like that. Try to be a decent human being, but don't stress out about the little things. If you keep it situational, if you just remodeled your kitchen, you should only care about what you and maybe your significant other thinks, because they got to see it. You don't need to care what your neighbor thinks about your kitchen. You don't need to care about what your boss thinks. Now, if you're going to an important business meeting, you should care about how you look, because in that situation, you're presenting yourself to a possible client or business partner, or whatever it may be. So just keep that in mind, that everything is situational, but in the end, you should be focusing on yourself, because it will attract like-minded people to you, and that's how you make everybody happy. You make your everybody happy.
Very well said, buddy.
Awesome.
Very well said. Gavin, I love how you come in and you're just like, hey, I'm going to say these very deep things and make everybody realize how genius I am at 21. I love it. But running with what Gavin was saying, he's 100% right. When you start to put yourself out there, you have to know that judgment's going to come, that people are going to want to tear you down, especially when you're doing something for yourself, because everybody has an opinion of how you should live your life. And the thing is, you can't change the world if you can't change you. So be able to influence who you are, know who you are, stay grounded, as Jeff said, and stop looking into the digital world or outside of what everybody else is thinking, because only you are the one that can choose what's going to be heaven or hell for you on this earth. Love you.
Awesome. Yeah, I love this wrap up.
Thank you.
What I would say to folks is, last year, 2020, the COVID pandemic specifically, taught us all a harsh but true lesson. It's a lesson I feel like I knew already, but now people get it. And that is that I control next to nothing. I don't control anything outside myself. I don't control anybody else. At best, I control me most of the time. And while people love feeling control and they love feeling the loss of control, the truth is, if I control me, then I have the ultimate control. And one of those things I control is I believe it's true in the world that I always have a choice. And if I always have a choice, then I can never be lost. I can never be beyond hope. I can never be without possibilities. So I live and breathe the idea that I always have a choice. The question is, what am I going to do with my choices in this moment? And when I do that, I feel empowered. I feel powerful. I feel impactful. And I feel hope. So that's my offer, is hope for the world through the power of choices.
Absolutely brilliant. Love that. Love that. Well, I want to thank everybody so much for watching, tuning in, all of your comments. Jeff, I want to thank you so much for being here. It was an absolutely wonderful conversation. Sorry to step out for a minute, but that just means that I have to have you back to continue the conversation and talk more. We would definitely love to have you back on the show. Is there any last minute thing that you'd like to promote? I know we've dropped all your links in here, your book, your website, all that, your YouTube channel. Any last thing that you'd like to promote really quick?
I'm just going to, it's not to promote, it's to promote each person who's listening, which is you're already enough.
Wonderful. Thank
You're
you.
already enough.
Once again, I am Gavin Kerr. This is Brandon Croucher. We're here with Jeff N. Thank you all so much for being here. This has been Java Delight, and we'll see you all tomorrow.